What's up, guys? It's the Wolf here. For today's show, I wanted to take a deep dive into the top 15 worst movies from 2022, ranked from best to worst. Starting off at number 15, we have Uncharted. This honestly wasn't a bad movie. It wasn't a terrible movie. I gotta be honest. It wasn't bad, but it is just not the adaptation that I wanted. That is just not Nathan Drake. That's not Sully. It just isn't. I just don't agree with the casting. So I had to put it on this list just because I know it did well. I know the reviews were great for it and all that, but the movie is just not my Drake. It's not my Sully. They could have done better, and I wish they would have. But I think they were just going for money. I really do, because Tom Holland is hot right now, and Mark Wahlberg is commonly known. So obviously it was on the way to being a big hit from the get-go. But damn, I'm disappointed in the casting. Just the casting. If they would have put anybody else in, this movie would have been gold. At number 14, we have Jurassic World Dominion. Honestly, I can't talk too much about this movie because I fell asleep. It is a boring movie. I don't remember any of it. Honestly, I remember probably the first half hour or so, and it never improved. It was really slow, and I think my girlfriend stayed up and she didn't like it either. And I actually really liked the last couple, so this was a huge surprise considering this was going to be the biggest on scope wise, and it really did not perform that well with me. At number 13, we have Elvis. Elvis is a lot of people's top movie this year, actually, and Elvis just didn't. I mean, I can appreciate it. That's why it's pretty high on this list, you know. It's not completely terrible, but Elvis is just, I just don't think it's an accurate description of what, Elvis's career, not only by the casting, because I do not think he looks like Elvis. At times he does when he starts gaining weight, but in the beginning I do think he's very linky. He doesn't really portray Elvis super accurately, but he did well with it. I do also think that they could have dived in on Elvis himself and a lot of the problems he was going through near the end, which I think they just kind of like skipped over, and with the use of mumble rap, that was really just awkward. I think they could have literally picked any other rap artist and it would have flowed better, but what they picked just didn't make sense. I think they could have went back to, use some soul music from the 50s or 60s to make it accurate with the time period, but nonetheless, that probably doesn't bug anybody else. But the movie, I don't know, it could have been better. It's Elvis, but they managed to at least entertain me, but it definitely could have been better. At number 12, we have Amsterdam. This movie wasn't terrible at all. It just didn't pack a punch with me. Like I managed to watch it all. It just wasn't I just didn't really care. I can't even tell you about the plot line right now. I know that's really sad, but I just remember Margaret Robbie, the black dude, and Christian Bale, but I don't remember jack fuck about what happened throughout the movie. Now, I'm being completely honest. I didn't even watch it that long ago. I think I watched it back in December, but obviously the plot line was not all there for me. At number 11, we have X. X was, it got me pumped up. It was interesting. It seemed like a traditional horror movie. It had the sex, it had the violence, it had the really menacing antagonist, but for me it fell flat a little bit because after the first murder, it becomes like this, like they start redoing kills, and that's got to be the worst thing you can do in a horror movie, is just redo a kill the same exact way. I feel like that's lazy. The first kill was really intense, how she just smashed the hell out of his face and all that, but I don't know, it fell off right after the first kill, completely fell off, and that's disappointing because it seemed like they were all in for the gore and all that, and they just didn't care. I don't know. At number 10, we have Thor: Love and Thunder. Obviously, if you guys see my MCU ranking, I didn't hate this one. like absolutely, but I just wanted something different. And for a Gore the God Butcher storyline, they completely trashed it. It just he's barely even in the movie. The action is okay, but it's just filled with so much slapstick and so much cheese and too much humor that really doesn't hit all the time. So it was just disappointing, and obviously it's just not my movie. Hopefully they improve with the next one. I don't know if Chris Hemsworth is really going to stay around for Thor if it doesn't improve, or if he just doesn't have an interesting arc. I mean, he really doesn't have any interesting movies. I mean, Ragnarok wasn't really a Thor movie. It was like a Marvel team up. Before that I didn't like The Dark World. And I'm not the biggest fan of the original Thor. So it kind of sucks that Chris Hemsworth got the shit end of the stick when it comes to Thor being one of the biggest characters in Marvel. They just can't produce a movie for him. But nonetheless, that's why it's on the list. At number 9, we have Nope. I was actually rooting for this movie because I just wanted to know what the twist was and what the movie was about. And when I saw it, I'll give it credit that the twist is interesting. I'll give it that. The twist is interesting, but it's literally at the end of the fucking movie. It's literally at the end. This whole time we're thinking of, and it just drags on. We don't get to see much of the UFO. We don't get to see too much of the really anything alien. It's very subtle, and then when it happens, you don't even know what the hell's going on. It's done pretty shitty when it comes to that scene in particular. But I mean, the whole movie, I think the humor and some of the script was just unnecessary and it didn't jive well with me. I love Get Out. It's one of my favorite horror movies, and I gotta get it on 4K. But Get Out was just a masterpiece, and I don't know what the hell Jordan Peele is doing, because this movie, it had a cool twist, but other than that, I mean, I have yet to rewatch it because it just did not hit. It did not hit well with me whatsoever. At number 8, we have Prey. I know a lot of people were giving this movie a lot of credit, but when it comes to Hulu horror movies, Hellraiser was definitely leagues above this, and I don't even think that's a perfect movie, but Prey, it just doesn't make any sense to me personally. I know you guys may love the movie, and I was entertained, I'll give it that, but just the concept to me just ruins it, because Native Americans are not stopping the Predator, bro. It's just not happening. It's not gonna happen. And it's like they use an unbelievable amount of plot armor to make it happen, and that's just disrespectful to the Predator name, because the original, you had these 80s action stars going up against the Predator, and he was killing them with ease, and they have revolutionary technology compared to the Native Americans, right? And they're having trouble with them. It just makes no sense. I don't get it. It just and then not to mention it's a woman, so you have a woman taking on the Predator. It's really cringy to me. I don't think anybody really wanted that movie. If I don't really, I don't know. I don't think you could have done a Predator movie in this fashion. Like go back to a society of humans that were really underdeveloped and put them against the Predator. It never works. It will never work. He will always dominate them because he's the fucking Predator. It made no sense to me, but whatever. At number 7, we have The Munsters. I couldn't get through this one all the way. It's just too cheesy, and I just don't understand what the hell Rob Zombie was thinking with this movie. The Munsters, I just don't get it. I don't get it, and it depresses me because I love the original series. I love the Addams Family. I love that idea, and then they go ahead and make this weird movie that I don't understand what the infatuation of the Munsters was for him, but it did not hit. And I'm glad it got to Netflix so we could all just watch it for free, pretty much. I mean, Netflix isn't free, but it's better than movie ticket, I'll say. At number 6, we have Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. This movie, I don't even it just, I don't know what to say. This movie sucked so much ass. I didn't want to cuss throughout this video, but I just have to. The movie's ass. I love Pete Davidson, and he's like the main plot device throughout the movie, and then when you get to the twist, it's just so fucking stupid, and it just I don't like the actors. I didn't really like the script other than Pete Davidson's part, because I am a fan of him, but he doesn't stick around too long. So yeah, I don't know where they were going with this, and I was really hyped for it too, because I like the idea of the original game they were going to play and then turn it into a horror movie, but it just did not hit well with me, honestly. At number 5, we have Halloween Ends. What can I say about this movie? I did make a review, I do believe. I hope I did. Because I had a lot to say about this movie. This movie is just... it is a train wreck. It is terrible. It is nothing that I wanted out of a Halloween sequel from Halloween Kills, which a lot of people were hating on Halloween Kills. I really enjoyed the movie. I thought Halloween Kills did exactly what I wanted it to do, and I really had no complaints all the way through. I really didn't, I think they could have showed him killing the townspeople a little bit more detailed, but other than that, and that's like the last 5 minutes, this movie, though, Halloween Ends, it's not even about Michael Myers. Michael Myers is in it for like 20 minutes, and he's dead for 10 of those minutes. It's just stupid. They really fucked up on this one. They really did. It's no wonder it's a bomb, and I really don't even want Jamie Lee Curtis in another Halloween movie. I just want it done. Just done. Reboot it with a new Laurie. Anything you want to do, just end this. You had a perfect opportunity to end on a bang, and you did not. You did not end with a banger. So, at number 4, we have Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Honestly, I knew from the get-go this is going to be something weird, and I still watched it after I watched all the trailers. And I'm a huge Texas Chainsaw Massacre fan. He's probably up there with my top slayers of all time, and this movie just wasn't it. It really wasn't. It did not hit well with me whatsoever. I don't get around the millennial bus of kids trying to make this random town. It just didn't make no goddamn sense to me. But and then you cut to like the gore and all that, and just the plot and just the script, everything was just really off, and it just was not it. It really wasn't. And if you go back to the 2003 Texas Chainsaw Massacre, that is a phenomenal movie. This is just laughable. It really is. It's literally something to laugh at, and that's just sad. At number 3, we have Beast. Yeah, this was actually one of my more hyped up movies, and I can't remember when we saw it in theaters. I don't think we did, because I was fortunate enough, grateful enough not to waste money on this pile of shit. I love Idris Elba too. I love Idris Elba. I love the old 70s and 80s where the animal attacks type of movie, and this seemed like it had a great budget. We were finally going to get like a modern Beast movie. I think they were called Bear, or The Bear, back in the 80s. I can't remember, but this movie, not only is the CGI off, that's a huge problem, but then just the script and plotline that they go along, like the girls in the car making so many problems, just stupid decisions. I'm like, I don't know. There's no weight to this fucking movie, and you barely get to see the lion. That's the main point of the movie. You barely ever get to see him. He comes around like 3 or 4 times. What the fuck's the point in making a lion movie where you just sit in a car, And that's just was not what I was expecting. Idris Elba also plays kind of a weird nerd, when he's not playing a badass, he comes off like he's trying not to be a badass, and we all know Idris Elba is a badass. So I don't know. It just could have been done so much better, and it wasn't. It became kind of like this cultural, like I don't know, like they just didn't need the family drama. You could have just sucked that right the fuck out of this movie, because it was just pointless to me. But that's whatever. At number 2, we have They, Them. This movie we watched a couple nights ago, and my girlfriend didn't laugh as much as I did, but she did find it humorous as well. Some of the scenes and the way they went around doing things, it just wasn't. It's a comedy. It really is a comedy, and it's just embarrassing for horror fans. It really is. And Kevin Bacon, what are you doing? You used to do Tremors. What are you doing now? What is Tremors was golden. This is not it, you know. The little gore we don't get any. I think only like 3 or 4 people are killed. All of the kids like disappear out of nowhere. Like I was talking to my girlfriend about it. I'm like, where did they all go? They had like a plan. They were making a plan, and then they all disappeared. And then it's like, I don't know. This is a weird movie, definitely. But if you want a weird watch, I believe it's on Peacock. So check that out. Number 1 worst movie of 2022, and I can firmly say this with my chest out. Pearl is a pile of fucking shit, and I bought it on Blu-ray, so I feel extra angry. Pearl was terrible. It was a terrible movie, and I actually liked X. You know how X was a lot higher on this list, so I had expectations that it was just going to be a prequel, but with the same quality, maybe even more kills. And then I hear about all these reviewers saying it's really gory and it's intense and it's dark and it's gritty and it's just crazy and all this shit, right? And then I watch it, and it's fucking ass. It's just fucking stupid. It's literally a stupid fucking movie. And it's just so bad. It doesn't make any sense why we're spending all this time on this mentally ill woman that just all the plot points that are pointed towards her, I don't care about them. What, she wants to be a dancer, then she wants to be a porn star, right? And then she can't accept that she can't be either because she's psycho, and it's just a whole thing. There's only a couple murders throughout the movie, and then there's a small montage of like slicing up limbs or whatever. Overall, there's nothing there. There's no substance. You know, it's just kind of like a weird movie talking about the 1920s. You know, that's what I got from it. Was a 1920s period piece about someone that just went off their fucking rocker, you know, and we barely even got to see the result, you know. It was just not a good time. It was not a good time at all. I think we actually already sold it. We sold it to you know, like a Allied Records exchange. We didn't get much for it, you know. We got like $10, but fuck it. I literally will never watch that fucking movie again. It's taking up shelf space. Take it out. Fucking take it away. Anyway, guys, let me know in the comments below what your worst movies were from 2022. It'd be really interesting to see what you guys hated this year. There's a couple other ones that I could have mentioned, but I didn't want to make this like a super huge list. But those were the movies that frustrated me the most. Anyway, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to join the Wolf Pack. Peace.